Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Blood Bowl Chaos Edition. I am the Illusionist, and we are back playing against the Darkworlders, a necromantic team. We're still the Ironbeards, the mighty Dwarves, and I'm really looking forward to this match, because I've never played a necromantic team PvP before. It's a little bit lopsided. I'm quite a lot more expensive than my opponent due to having some more players than they do. However, you notice the bottom left, I am missing a reroll. They have spent their inducements on the bad habits upgrade, so that was really clever, I think. I wasn't expecting it, certainly, and it means that I'm going to have to be really careful how I play, because I can't afford to make any mistakes. I think it's a fairly classic necromantic team. 2 whites, 2 werewolves and a flesh golem, clearly looking to outmaneuver me rather than outfight me. Okay, let's turn off this stupid camera. N and G for the names in the grid. And the necromancer team chooses to receive. So I'm fresh off my win against the elves. My runner, star player, picked up the block skill, which is making it extra hard to take down. Perfect, just what I wanted. And we get started. So this time at least I remember to put my troll slayers on the right side. They need to be on the inside of the pitch to block outwards, which I forgot last time around. Don't aim to make the same mistake twice. I am however doing something a little bit different. Normally I would swap my runner for another blocker and have just a line of bodies from left to right. However, I'm keeping my runner on the pitch this time to kick, even though I'm kicking off. Where is he? He appears over here in a moment. Because now that he's picked up the block skill, there he is, he's a lot less vulnerable. And so I can make better use of him running forward into my opponent's half to fetch the ball, which I don't normally do. I have to wait for it to come to me. We'll see how that works out. Again, familiar setup already. Putting a player in the gap right here usually means one and only one thing. He's going to knock these 2 guys aside and try and force the werewolf down the side, ready to either pick up the ball when it's thrown, or maybe try and get a handoff to him. The 2 ghouls at the back, looking like they want to pick up the kick, suggests it's going to be a handoff. Well, usually flesh golems off to the side. Usually most players stick them in the middle where they can do the most damage. This is a purely tactical play to take care of the troll slayer as fast as possible, hedging all their bets straight over there. Kick-off table, throw a rock. So pick 2 players, my blocker and his werewolf, throw a rock at them and they take an injury. I come off slightly better there by being KO'd rather than seriously injured. That's a massive benefit to me, because that's one less really agile player on the pitch to worry about. So yeah, the white cancels out the blocker's tackle zone, leaving the flesh gold to make a straight attack on the troll slayer. 2 dice in his favour. Gets me down and out the way, as expected. And the werewolf's making the blitz, so is he? Clearly thinking about it, he's got a plan in mind. Quite worried about this blocker over here. Ooh, takes the risk to pick the ball up, uses a reroll to do it. I might have done that after a bit more blocking, but then if it's only 1 dice and it's half and half, you might as well give it a shot. The white pushes the runner out of the way, so the werewolf has a clear run down the side. Instead, changes his mind, takes on the blockers. This is exactly what I was expecting. So many people in the way, straight off the pitch. Oops. Fortunately, typical dwarven boneheadedness saves me the worst of that. But straight off the pitch, already a player down in the first turn. That was a really good move. I wasn't expecting that. I was hoping he'd just knock him straight to the floor and run over him, but no, got better ideas. Well played. As I said, knock people off the pitch if you can, and frenzy is the skill to do it. Moves a bit closer. This is where the handoff is hoping to come in, I'm sure. Starts throwing some one dice blocks just to knock over or move as many people as he can. At this point it's, I'm not going to say arbitrary, but it's everything left to do is to slow me down as much as he can and make ready for his run. They're all one dice blocks though, so he's getting a little bit lucky against dwarves with their block skill. It's 1 in 3 chance he'd come off badly there. Of course, 1 in 3 chance he'd succeed as well, so a fair risk. Not sure why the ghoul moved up there. I certainly can't get to him to blitz him. Maybe he just likes to babysit. So when I pick all my guys up, I send the Troll Slayer over towards the werewolf. I'm half expecting a pass, or if it's a handover, it at least makes the ghoul go around the other side rather than in a straight line. Even in small ways, you're controlling your opponent's move for that turn. And now I try and re-establish some dominance on the touch line. Doesn't really work. But once I've got my line back up, tackle zones all over the place, it makes it that much harder for him to get through. He has to risk more blocks, he has to risk more dodges. I'm probably wasting my time on the zombies, to be fair, but I'm a dwarf, I can't run that far, so I'm not really going to do much else. Probably my best play is to knock the white out of the way and then move towards his werewolf. I seem obsessed with killing his cheapest and weakest players for some reason. Little bit aimless, I think. I don't really have a plan as to what I'm doing by the looks of it. Other than, oh, I'm going to attack these guys. This will come back to bite me, I assure you. There we go, get your act together. Move your players over to where you know the players are going to be moving, or at least redirect them to go the long way around, at which point you've got all the time in the world to chase them. Again, getting a little bit closer to the werewolf. I can blitz the white out when my runner has a free run at him. If only just to put a tackle zone on him and slow him down a turn. Yep, that's what we're doing. On reflection, I could perhaps move my blitzer this way and up and round between the two. Yet another tackle zone on the werewolf just for the sake of it, but a little bit defensive. Chase him down, make him act, and make him act rashly if you can. Of course, ghouls are movement 7, so he's in no particular rush to try and outpace the dwarves. Gets a push, so no tackle zones on him. Blitzer gets knocked down. Completely expected there. Not badly hurt, that's fine. But that puts me in the wilderness. I've got no guys anywhere near his ball carrier, and I'm actually quite a significant distance away. It's not even a cage, it's just a defensive perimeter. Not a great place for me to be. Of course, what I'm also conscious about is now he didn't give the ball to his werewolf after all, so his werewolf was in a perfect position to make more blitzers. So I don't want to get too close to the table edge. I don't have to, because that's going to cause me no end of problems if I let him do that again. I'm just fortunate really, he's only got one werewolf after that serious injury in the first turn. Zombies do their thing, soaking up hits and dishing out some damage. And that's a significant cage. I'm not getting in there easily. Attacker down. Whack. And a KO, even better. So a little bit of luck starts to go my way. The question is, what do I do about it? I'm not really going to take down the flesh golem very easily. Certainly not in a position where I'm then not going to get shoved straight off the pitch. So my best tactic at this point is to mark up and wait for a hole to exploit. Or at least do as much damage to the rest of the team as possible, so that if I do concede a touchdown, it's entirely possible, I can make a fresh attack in the next drive with a much less resistance. Block saves the day once more, gotta love it. Bit of manoeuvring. Yeah, see, I'm a little bit shy in the bottom right now. I really need to have a guy on this square so that the ghoul can't just walk around me, which he inevitably will do. But I've got an eye on the werewolf. Don't like him being there, and I don't like what he's capable of. So let's see. At the very least, I keep pressure on the guy with the ball and make him either move or risk being blocked and tackled. Put a tackle zone on the werewolf. Again, try and slow him down. He's proven he's fast and maneuverable. Same with the second ghoul. And now take a punt at the nearest guy, which is the werewolf. I really wanted to knock him down there, but Frenzy, fortunately, gives me a good roll. So even though it's actually 2 dice in my opponent's favour, so he gets another push. Werewolf is dangerously close to the table edge, but that doesn't help, because now he's got a block made on the Troll Slayer next turn. The werewolf just knocks him straight out the way, or even knocks him down. Yep, straight away, defender stumbles, down he goes. So, bit unlucky there. However, it could have been worse. I could have really hurt myself, and that would have been a tragedy at this point in time. And, at the very least, I've kept his werewolf at the top of the pitch out of the way for one more turn. Flesh Golem doesn't achieve anything. Strangely, they don't have the block skill. Even such a big, tough character, they have Stand Firm instead, which is probably a blessing on my part. Well, there goes the ghoul. Movement 7. He can score next turn. So this is really dangerous for me. Particularly if he's going to start packing bodies around the guy like that. Knocks down the blitzer. Moves into a covering position. Effectively a cage around the ghoul. So I can't get around this side without going off the pitch, and that's a terrible idea. However, I think I can stop him. It's not going to be easy or an awful lot of fun, but I can do it. So first things first, mark up his positional players, his ghoul and his werewolf, so that they aren't going to come to the rescue particularly easily. All 4 guys in the middle of the pitch have no one marking them. They are free to do whatever they need to do to get the job done. So let's see what we can achieve. I think my best play, try and engineer a scenario where either the white goes off the pitch, which I can do with the Troll Slayer if I get him away from the Flesh Golem, or to drop him on the floor here and put the Troll Slayer in the white's place. So even with the body on the floor, the ghoul can't jump over it to move down, and he can't move through my Troll Slayer. He has to go around or arrange a blitz, which I can protect against a lot more easily than I can just letting him run. Yeah. So I put the runner on the white, that gets me 2 dice with the Troll Slayer. It's making sure I don't run through a tackle zone. And I knock him down. So that's exactly what I needed. the ghoul can't move through the body, he has to dodge around the troll slayer, so it's 1, 2, 3 dodges to get anywhere. Even more now, I've got the blocker in the way, so he can't get out. The only way he can do is to dodge up the pitch, back towards my other spare players. Potentially he can fight his way out of here if the white gets up and is really lucky with his blitz. Not incredibly likely, but possible. The flesh golem doesn't get up, which is again a big benefit to me. If he could have got up and knocked this guy on the head, that's essentially a lot of problems solved. Ooh. I think that's what he's going to try with the werewolf. Knock over the troll slayer, move his way down the pitch and start marking up to make some favourable blocks. However, he's rolled both down. Troll slayers have block, the werewolf does not. No rerolls left. Turn over. Best possible result for me. So now the ghoul's going off the pitch. Not much you can do about that. Even if I roll attacker down, I can re-roll it. I could get both down, that might do it. But either way, I'm going to get the ball off this guy. Serious injury, that's a bonus. Oh, come on! Even close to my end zone, what the hell? At least my runner's there, he can pick the ball up if he needs to. First things first, it's a pretty easy block on the white to knock him down. We don't want any interference if I do try and pick the ball up. And we do. Start running to the end zone. Yeah. Come on, you can do it. Good boy. I didn't want to run at a 45-degree angle this way, because that takes me too far away from the rest of my team. I'm aware there are 2 zombies and a flesh golem fairly nearby who'd have something to say about that. Instead, start a cage. It's a little bit slower than running by himself. The runner is my fastest team member, but it's a lot safer, and he's proven his werewolf and his ghoul can get places I don't want them to be. Both down, yep, happy with that. That's what the blitzers are there for. Ooh, knockout. Necromancy team is getting taken out quickly, so that's 4 players off in 2 turns. The Dwarves, however, still only have 1. Big swing. Troll Slayer fails to go for it. Try and just cover the flesh golem. It's the last move of my turn. I didn't need to waste a reroll on that. He's not going to get badly hurt. He wasn't badly hurt. Fair enough. I'll take that. And now, I don't think he has anyone in range of my team. So he can knock the blocker over, and he can't get to my blitzer. So it's not really done me any favours. Which means my blocker has to stay on the ground next turn, otherwise he gets knocked away, off the pitch. And I'm quite happy to do that. I mean, he's face down, he's been stunned, he's staying there at least 1 turn anyway. Here comes the zombie cavalry. I can see why he spread them out a little bit that way, so that I have to go the longer way around the pitch. The way the movement works though, it's not that big of a deal, it's still just direct diagonal run to me. I might have kept the zombies next to each other, because all I'm going to do is block them and knock them over, and go straight up the middle if I want to. Still. Stranger things happen at sea. The werewolf gets in on the act. Again, threatening my cage, setting up for an attack on the next turn. I might not have left it next to the Troll Slayer, because he's just going to get straight up and, with help from the blitzer and the blocker, hit something. So his werewolf, his potential to put himself straight back into danger. He left the white on the floor, strangely. That's unusual. Maybe they were forgotten about. However, the zombie's not going anywhere. He's marked, and he's agility 2. Trying to decide, do I want to blitz with the blitzer and then move, or just block and then rearrange my cage somewhere else? as it stands. The zombie's not realistically going to get around, and if he does, he's going to do it by himself and probably get hurt. I'm going to leave my blitzer here, looking after the zombie, the werewolf and the other zombie, rather than really looking after the cage that's quite okay by itself. And remember, pick up your characters before you start doing things risky. I always forget and it ends badly, so see if you can learn from my mistake. Again, marking the zombie, he can risk a dodge. It's not going to do much good if he's not lucky. And commence punching. Oh dear. Attacker down. I re-roll that because it's quite close to the end of the half and I'm confident that I can get away. Maybe a little bit arrogant. But it changes my mind enough that I need to be really sure about this cage. So I'll move the blitzer over anyway. Just as well I declared a blitz actually. Pushing the blocker. Pushing the blocker again. Attacker down, attacker down. Ooh, seriously, seriously bad luck. I can't fault him for trying that, certainly. But I'd have picked up the white first, because he's been on the floor for 3 turns now, and he's not doing anyone any good. And now I can pick up my blocker and safely move him away from the white if I need to. So that's given me an advantage back. I can free up my player and get him back in the game. Home track, my runner well away. He can be caught, especially by the werewolf. Maybe the zombie if he does something about this blocker. Not likely to be dodged away from, however. So the question is, do I continue to cover the runner, or do I start rolling some dice and just try to knock his players over? The latter, certainly more fun, but a bit more risky, because one lucky dice roll, we saw it just then with the flesh golem, and it turns against me, and I potentially lose the ball. Blood Bowl, however, more about fun than anything, I like to say, if I can. So, blitz the white. Attacker down. Well, not lost anything. He stays where he is, he's not hurt. Hoping to knock the white over and move down from the flesh golem, so at least that way I can't be easily knocked off the pitch again. He tries the same thing, flesh golem at the blitzer, blocker, defender down, and moves to support the zombie. Again, I should have moved those 3 characters before I started blocking, but I'm doing quite well here, I think. Again, arrogance sets in. I thought I could get away with it, and apparently not. He starts picking on the Troll Slayer, setting up another block on the Blitzer. See what I mean? This could go really badly. A couple of good rolls here. 2, 3, 4 of my players get knocked down, potentially. Purely by good fortune, they're both pushes. Oh no, Frenzy kicks in, he's knocked down. But again, he's now moved further away from my runner. So even with some lucky dodges, I don't think he can. The incredible flying zombie, ladies and gentlemen. He managed to dodge. Yeah, 4+, I guess, on a 6-sided dice. Shouldn't be that surprised, but it's always fun to see when zombies accomplish something. They're so cheap and, well, low stats. I like seeing them exceed expectations. Man, you're ugly. But he's got a little tiny Errol Flynn moustache, and that makes it all better. I've never really taken the time to look at the zombie models. Apparently one of them's got a mohawk. I don't think it's any guys on this team, but that guy's got dreadlocks, but they're actually quite good fun. Troll Slayer joins the zombie. Pretty safe bet. Even if I get a push here, I get the zombie way away from my ball carrier, which is what I want to do. A necessary block. I don't have any rerolls left. And as I said, the bad habits from my opponent's inducements have taken away my opportunity to use 2. I don't want to take any more risks than I have to. Safe blocks on people who I can afford to block. However, the white moved away from the blocker when he finally got up, so now he can get up and rejoin the match, hopefully. 1 dice against the zombie. I don't particularly want to follow up on the white, because as it is, he's blocking 3 players from making a move up this way. Or at least soaking up a blitz. If I'd have got in touch with the white there, the white could just block him, and then those 2 can move freely. As it is, I put the flesh golem in the way. It's a slightly longer route, but... Hey! What was that for? Yeah, you get sent off, you deserve it, and the Troll Slayer just rolls over. Hope he's laughing at you, quite frankly. Who is that? Grumgle Iron Fist. Ah yes, my star Troll Slayer. He can take a beating, he's fine. And the Dwarves touchdown in the dying seconds of the first half. Some really bad luck for the Necromantic team so far. The Dwarves have managed to get plenty of injuries. They've sneaked away some good tackles and even managed a touchdown in the very last second. 1-0 to the Ironbeards. Hope you'll join me for the second half soon. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.